What's poppin', government cheese? This week, Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Real Housewives of New Jersey, Season 13 Reunion Part 3. Baby, when I tell y'all that this Part 3, I yelled at the screen several times at the lies that were being spewed out of Teresa and Louie's mouths. Like, I was blown away. So Andy starts it off by saying, Louie, can you let's just start with the PJs thing. So he was like, there were bags of clothes that never got to your father. I took one of the sweats and I wore them one night in like just an endearing good way for your sister and the girls. When I made that comment to you, it sounded creepy, but that's not what happened. Sir, it's creepy regardless. You didn't know, no. Okay? What are you wearing them for Teresa and the girls? Like, you're trying to embody no. You're trying to be her daddy. You're trying to be the girl's grandpappy. It's weird regardless. You're not a family member in that way. You didn't even know that man. If anything, the stuff should have went to Joe. That's weird. Any way you spin it, you psychopath. Like, Teresa's literally sleeping with the enemy. Girl, you better be sleeping like this because that man is cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. So Andy face was like, even Andy was weirded out. So Louie says that he wanted to be close to Joe. And Joe was like, I want to believe you, but every time I do, you screw me. When she came home from prison, she was the best. We talked every day. Didn't I call you every day? Here go Teresa talking about some, because we were filming. You never invited me over. You never invited me out. And now y'all know I told y'all, I followed both of them. And during that time, after she got out of prison, they were like this. She was like this with Melissa and Joe. I took the time out of my afternoon today to go on Teresa's and Melissa's Instagram post just to show proof that she is a liar from the 90s, okay? Just a full-blown liar. Okay, now this is from Teresa's Instagram page. Who is that? Oh, that's Melissa and Teresa, and this was not when they were filming. This is from June 16th, 2021. She says, short times are the best times. Love you. That was to her sister-in-law, but y'all never kicked it. They never invited you anywhere. They never did anything for you. Y'all never been close. You never liked her. Okay. Teresa, July 4th, celebrations, July 7th, 2021, off camera, not filmed. Who is that? Teresa, Melissa, Joe, and Louie. But I thought they never invited you all anywhere. Isn't that ironic? Then, February 24th, 2021, Melissa and Teresa again. Hashtag family ties, hashtag sister-in-laws, hashtag Lake George, love, love, love. Now, this is when I believe they were filming, but still, they were doing great. Teresa Giudice, August 21st, 2020. Didn't even realize that me and Joe Gorga have the same birthday, so that makes me like him even more. She posted this picture of her brother, and No. And she captioned it, "Happy birthday, at Joey Gorga. I'm so lucky to have you. You are the greatest brother, always looking out for the girls and I can't wait to celebrate with you. Love you." But I thought he never helped you out. I thought he never did anything from you and the girls. Girl, you flip-flop so much and change your tune every 5 seconds whenever it suits you. Whatever, and this is from your page, love. Your page, not Melissa's. Then Teresa posted this. Family is everything, August 1st, 2020. And who is she with? At Ortley Beach. Wasn't filming. She's with who? Melissa and her sisters. But she never really liked them. She never was really around them. They never asked her over. They never did anything together. Girl, the lies. Here's another picture from another 4th of July. No, this was July 5th, 2021. Happy 4th, everyone. This is from Melissa's page. You see her, Joe, Louie, Teresa, Jackie, and Evan. Then you see this from June 16th, 2021. It's all the ladies together, and they weren't filming because Melissa captioned this, "Miss Us Yet." Such a beautiful pride event yesterday in the city of Inglewood. They weren't even filming for this. Oh, here's another couple picture of the four of them. December 25th, 2020. We haven't been able to post a couple's pic in a while. Merry Christmas. Girl, Teresa full of crap. July 26th, 2020. Melissa and Teresa. Melissa, just a couple of Jersey sister-in-laws enjoying the summer. Girl, I could go on and on and on. And then this is the last one I'm going to show. This is from May 16th, 2020. She posted this ad that they did together. I think this was for Bravo or for People Magazine or something. Happy birthday to my beautiful sister-in-law at Teresa Giudice. So many years of sisterhood, showing everyone how family pulls through and making some amazing memories along the way. Have the best day, XOXO. Girl, stop it with your lies, girl, because there's receipts. You weren't even dumb enough to erase them. Girl, I cannot with this fool Wang. Fool Wang. Oh, and since they only called you when they was filming, y'all wasn't filming when y'all did this TikTok. You and Melissa.
Humor? Ha, laugh, funny. That's funny? To me, it's funny. Yeah, do you have a sense of humor?
Y'all wasn't filming when y'all was doing TikToks together. Girl, it's so much evidence to prove your lies. It's not even funny. Like, girl, just stop with the ignorance. So Melissa and Teresa argue back and forth. Andy is so annoyed with them. So he was like, Frank, what happened with Lil Frankie working with Louie? Did he leave the company or what? Frank says, no, Frankie is no longer with Louie. Andy says, what happened? Here go Dolores. He got another job and that was it. First of all, he wasn't talking to you, George Hamilton. If y'all know who George Hamilton is, you get the joke. First of all, he wasn't talking to you. And Frank was like, that's not what I heard. And Louie was like, why don't you tell it? And so Dolores was like, no, I'll answer it. Louie gave my son a job, and we were thankful for Louie. I don't know what this rumor is, but I don't want to talk about Frankie. First of all, Frankie has appeared on the show several times, so we're not going to pull that I don't want to talk about my son because your son appears on the show. Now, I can see if he didn't appear on the show, he wasn't involved with the show, but he is. So let's not talk about him like he's a minor. He's a grown man. And why are you, as his mother, sitting up here sugarcoating and covering for another woman's man? Make it make sense. Ain't no friendship that important that I'm gonna sit up here and lie for Teresa and her man, because it's obvious that you're lying. It's so obvious. You tried to shut the conversation down because I guess y'all already came to some type of terms about the situation, but regardless, they played your son and you sitting up here covering for them. That says a lot about Dolores. Dolores, family this and family that and da-da-da. She tried to act so tough and hard, but she is the weakest freaking link. She go harder for Teresa than Teresa has ever went for her, and I don't understand it. Ain't no way somebody going to play my son, and then I'm going to get up on television and cover for them. Girl, you whack as hell. Get her off my screen. I do not like Dolores at all. At all. At all. At all. I do not like her. Like, totally have lost me as a fan. So Frank is whispering to Joe, I won't say anything first. They got to bring it up. And Frank, nah, you should have stood on whatever it was and just said it. Forget them bringing it up. Say it with your chest. You do all that bodybuilding for what? So Joe was like, I've known Frankie all my life, and he's told me some things. Dolores told me some, Joe, you and I have never had a problem. Louie, thank you for hiring my son. So Joe was like, is this what happened, Louie? Louie's mum's the word. And Paulie tells Dolores, just chill, just ignore it. Like, y'all all whack and lame as I don't know what. He played your son and you sitting up here covering for him? Like, what kind of dirt and tea does he have on you, Dolores? Or are you so far up Teresa's butthole that you gonna do and say whatever she needs for you to do and say for, I guess, to keep your friendship with her, to keep your spot on the show because you think she runs something over there? Girl, bye. Like, you are a fraud, bro. You are a straight fraud. So, after that, John Fuda says, I have a question. Why did Louie and Teresa decide to bring my kid's mother into this? Why did you guys have me investigated? Teresa, I don't know. What is he? So Louie denies it. Joe Bonango, whatever his name is, said, you did. And so John was like, Bodito friends or subcontractors I happen to know. You had me investigated. Well, guess what? An eye for an eye. He pulls up a yellow envelope with T on him. You want to come for me? I'm going to come for you. You act like you the only person that can hire a private investigator. And Joe Fuda looked like the type you don't want to mess with. He got paper, he got money and the means, honey. And he stood on how he felt. And I went up for him this reunion. I totally gained so much respect for John Fuda because he don't play. You met the right one with this one. So, of course, Louie sitting there denying it. Andy was like, why do you think he had your family investigated? John was like, I happen to know a private investigator reached out. You can't just contact someone in prison. Those people have to use a number to look up people in the system. That number was traced back to the people with Bodito. And that's the truth. It ain't like you can call up the jail. Hey, let me speak to Mary Joanne. That's not how it works. So Louie was like, then take that up with Bodito. Take that up with Bodito. Like, dude, we all know that you had that lady contacted. So Andy was like, in the finale, you said Bodito has information on all of you. And Louie was like, that was actually misstated that night out of anger. So everything now is being backtracked. You just said that just to be saying something. Nigga, you said it more than once. You knew exactly what you were doing. You hired a private investigator to investigate all of these people. So Andy was like, you said it the next day as well. So Rachel was like, me and Melissa were out to dinner and guess who was sitting right next to us one night? Bodito. Like, how is that just a coincidence? So Andy was like, you think he was surveilling you? And they was like, yes. So Melissa said, so you're saying that you didn't hire a private investigator? And Lou was like, no, I did not. Andy said, so you made it up? And he was like, yeah. Like, who makes up something like that? Nobody. Like, you should have just said, yeah, I did it and stood on it. But Teresa was like, you shouldn't have said that. We got to sit up here and deny it and act like that wasn't said. You Teresa fans, if y'all still fans of hers after this reunion, y'all just as dumb as she is. So Andy snaps on them again because you imagine sitting there for 10 hours hearing Teresa and Melissa going back and forth and will not be quiet when you ask them to be quiet. So yes, you will snap too because I'm there to get a job done. We've been sitting here all day. I'm trying to get this done and over with so I can go back home to my kids. While people was online sitting up there saying that Andy was talking to Teresa crazy, this, that, and the third. First of all, Teresa is crazy and she's a habitual liar. And don't nobody feel like hearing her spew a bunch of lies for 10 hours. So yeah, I would have snapped on them too. So Andy was like, production just called and said that a man downstairs who's a security person that you hire. Is that true? And Louie was like, yeah, but I didn't hire him. Bodito sent him for me. Now, y'all been sitting up here talking about Bo Diddley for the last, I don't know how long. And you trying to act like you ain't had nothing to do with it. You didn't hire Bodito, but then you turn around and says that Bodito hired security for y'all? What? Like, yo, like, you can't make this up. Like, I felt like I was in a Twilight Zone. Like, he is really playing mental gymnastics with people. So he told me some, we were receiving death threats all last week. Boy, please get out of here. Just, the lies. And I wish that Andy just would have said, like, dude, like, stop it with the lies. Like, come on now. Like, y'all just need to tell the truth at this point because everybody know you sitting up here lying through y'all teeth. So Teresa then accuses Margaret of talking to this person that has been harassing Louie. And Louie was like, are you claiming that isn't going on? And Margaret was like, no. Louie was like, all right, let's play. You want me to expose how you're paying bloggers? And Margaret shows how he called her son's job. Andy was like, is this your number? And Louie was like, yeah, that's my cell number. So everybody's showing proof that you're doing despicable stuff behind the scenes, but it's all fake. It's all smoke and mirrors. This is just made up. So Frank was like, Louie, did you not hire Bo Dietl to do a slander campaign on me, Joe, Gorga, and Margaret? He says, I did not. Margaret says, you're trying to intimidate us and you have a tattoo of warrior on your chest. Louie says, you're damn right I do. Marge was like, good, associate yourself with him. Louie says, yes, be careful. First of all, I guess, I don't know who warrior is, who this warrior person is. I guess I don't know who it is, but he's telling her to be careful. Who you talking to, girl? I know you ain't Red Lobster. So John Fuda looked at Joe like, you gonna let him talk to your wife like that? Because, baby, I feel like if he would have said that to John Fuda would have leapt across that stage on his butt. So Joe was like, did you just threaten her? And he told him some, no. Like, he been throwing out threats this whole entire reunion at women, at the guys. Like, bravo, if y'all don't get rid of this psychopath, because he is not good for the network. He has gone too far. So Andy then asks Joe, did Louie ghost him on the piece of business? Louie says that he asked Joe if he wanted a percentage of the business. How you gonna ask somebody if they want a percentage of a business that they created? Joe says that he was calling him so they could discuss everything. He kept on giving him the runaround, so they never even had the opportunity to sit down and talk about money. And Joe was like, you're a woman abuser. That's what you are. I mean, we've heard the stories. So at this point, Teresa's really upset when he said that. Andy says, Joe, Teresa says that Jacqueline told her that you were hanging out with her ex, Joe's business partner. And now Teresa believes that you and Melissa are responsible for she and Joe going to jail. Baby, everybody has been responsible for that lady going to jail. I've been responsible. The clouds been responsible, honey. A sheet of paper been responsible. Donald Trump been responsible. Barack Obama been responsible. Child, the network been responsible. Jacqueline, Caroline, everybody under the sun been responsible except for the people that did it, child. So Frank was like, I'm going to answer that. Joe, do you release the attorney-client privilege? And he was like, yeah. And they cracking up laughing because it's laughable at this point. So he says, I was Joe's attorney at the time. We got contacted by the FBI in West Patterson. And Andy was like, for real, you were Joe's attorney? He was like, yeah, swear to God. He was like, Frank says he was asked to come down and discuss about Joe, not Teresa. And Teresa was like, I know he would never try to hurt me. And Frank was like, yeah. And he never showed up and said a word. He never said a word. So once again, that has been debunked. That theory has been debunked. So Teresa then says in Italian, you broke my heart. Yeah, when your back is up against the wall and you've been exposed on every single lie that you've spewed over these last 3 episodes, now you want to start speaking Italian. Girl, that ain't gonna help you none. Do that shit at the Olive Garden, not her. So Marge was like, why do you believe every bad rumor? And Teresa says, Jacqueline has no reason to lie. And even Andy said, you like suddenly standing for Jacqueline Loretta is like the joke of the century. After you talked cash about her for the last 10 years. Teresa then says one of the biggest lies that she's ever said on this show. She says, I didn't talk ish about her. Andy said, Teresa, roll the tape. They showed some clips, but they didn't even show the good stuff when she has dogged Jacqueline throughout the years. She could not stand Jacqueline Loretta. All the comments she's made about her in the press, in interviews, and everything else. But you ain't never said nothing bad about her, Teresa. Like, at this point, Teresa just lies to lie. Like, she don't even realize that she's lying at this point. So Joe was like, if you would have met an average guy that came in with all these videos, he's a disaster. Louie was like, just a matter of time, Joe, just a matter of time. Once again, trying to threaten somebody. And Joe was like, you threatening me? Teresa's like, why you have to bring up the videos? You have stuff in your past. And at this point, she's standing up with her Hanes drawers on underneath that dress. I don't know why they put them bright white panties on underneath that dress. So Teresa then says Marge ruined their family. Now Marge done ruined the family. First it was Teresa and Joe that ruined the family. Now it's Marge. Lord Jesus. So Andy was like, do you not regret going to the wedding? Joe says no. First it was Pizzagate. Then they tried to tell me my wife was cheating on me. He goes, there's multiple men. Louie says, I didn't say that. Joe was like, you mentioned the name. Teresa's like, well, what was the guy's name? Joe says the name, and then Teresa says, oh, well, that was another rumor. Well, I thought that y'all didn't say nobody else. Like, I wanted to throw my remote at the television screen at that point, because it's just like, cut the reunion. It's over. Like, this was like the worst showing from a housewife that I've ever seen at a reunion, where everything that they threw out got debunked. So Joe was like, he just said no, now he's admitting it. So then they bring up Gia saying that he can do better than Melissa. Teresa denies it. Joe was like, what do I get out of line? Like, come on. So Teresa calls Gia. Now, mind you, she was texting the whole time she been sitting there. So I'm pretty sure she texts Gia, I'm about to call you, get your lie ready. So Gia says she didn't say that, and that it was sad that Joe was trying to call her a liar. First of all, like he said, on stage, it's not like she not gonna lie for her mama. She looked Teresa. She's little Teresa. And I 100% believe that she said that. I don't believe at all that that man would sit up there and lie on that little girl. We all know that she has been in grown folks' business since she was on this show, since the day she premiered. Yes, she would lie for her mama. I 100% believe she said that. So Teresa was like, I always put you first. We were best friends. You're disgusting. You should be ashamed of yourself. And then she get up running off stage talking, don't follow me. Meanwhile, nobody's following her except for Louie. And I feel like she did that, and she tried to make herself cry because she knew that she was losing. She knew that she was losing. So Teresa comes back on stage. Joe says he loves her and will always be there for her if she ever need him. But yes, he is upset with her. And she was like, no. And so he was like, okay, see what I'm talking about? So at this point, forget about me and I'll forget about you. She was like, beautiful. So Frank was like, Louie, do we have your word you won't investigate us? Louie gets up, shakes his hand and says that he won't. Then he tries to shake Joe's hand or whatever. So the men are dismissed. And before Louie leaves the stage, he goes over to Rachel and John and says, you're a really good mother. What you're doing with his son is beautiful, and I would never investigate you guys. And John stood 10 toes down and was like, if you want to be my friend, you'll admit to it because I know you did. Louie says, I can't admit that. And John was like, apologize like a man. Louie says there's nothing to apologize for. John was like, if you're not going to come to me and apologize and own it, what you think I'm effing angry for? For no reason? Like, make it make sense, dude. Like, I know you did it. Of course, he doesn't want to admit it. Of course, he's not going to admit it on camera because it'll prove that once again, he's a liar. He'll probably call him after the show and admit it. You better to record your phone conversations with this joker. So Joe just pulls John away at that point because it's like, no point talking to this sociopath. After that, the reunion is pretty much over. And just to clarify, Andy gave his opinion on the whole Bo Dietl situation on his podcast. I want you all to take a good listen.
Of the moment. And now, Katie Theo 9, what do you think of Louie now saying he didn't use that detective? I mean, what do I think? I think it is really a very bizarre thing to suddenly announce to a group that I used this man to get information on all of you. And then he repeated it the following day, not in the heat of the moment. And now he's saying he just made it up because it was the first thing that came to his head.
I'm so scared of him.
Really highly...
I want to joke around about it, but I'm afraid I'll get Bo Dietl.
Unlikely. It's very odd.
Even Andy calls BS. And if people around Andy are saying that they're afraid of him, God knows what the network execs are saying. Like, this man is a liability. He needs to go. Now, at first, y'all heard me saying, I feel like Teresa should get a spinoff show and, you know, ride off into the sunset. I don't even feel like she deserves that. Why keep on rewarding bad behavior? That's why she acts the way that she acts now. No. Fire her, send her off into Housewives land and let her go on and be with her scammer of a husband who gonna take her for everything she got because she listen to everything he say. He's so smart and she's so dumb. He probably gonna get her to sign some more paperwork without her reading it and end up being the executive of her estate and offing her tail and getting all her money. That's how diabolical this man is. And she's going to regret going against her family and choosing this man. But this is just who she is, period. It ain't even got nothing to do with Louie. This is just who Teresa is at the core. When she needed them, when she ain't had no man, it was all good. Then as soon as she got with this joker, we see how she moves. She's a user. She's a user, a manipulator, a liar. And she's a weirdo at this point. I still feel like Melissa and Joe deserve to be on the show, but I wouldn't even be mad if they had to go. I feel like if it's down to somebody having to leave, I feel like it should be Teresa, but I still wouldn't even be mad if both parties are made to leave. And with their salary, Bravo could bring in 4 more girls and still not have to pay as much as they're paying Teresa and Melissa to be on this show. I feel like the show needs to go into a new direction with new people, fresher faces anyway. I do feel like this season Danielle and Rachel brought in a new energy, a younger, fresher energy into the show. And I wouldn't be mad if they added 2 new girls to the show and got rid of Melissa and Teresa. Wouldn't be mad at all. It's time. It really is time. Y'all could bring in 4 new girls, 2 younger ones, 2 older women. Let's spice things up. Hell, Dolores can go after this season because Dolores don't bring nothing to this show no way. She just sit there like a bump on a log. She don't want to divulge none of her business. And after her showing at this reunion, sitting up here covering for Louie over your son and telling the truth, she lost all my respect. Get her out of here. Get her out of here. Get her out of here. Overall, I'll say that season 13 of The Real Housewives of New Jersey, I'm going to give it an A because it's crazy. It's insanity. It really is insanity. And that is what Teresa brings to this show. Nothing but insanity. Like, you can't even make this type of stuff up. And it's sad and it's crazy. You know, it really honestly is crazy. Y'all let me know overall what y'all thought about the season. Who do you think should go? What did you think about Reunion Part 3? If you were a Teresa fan or are a Teresa fan, did her getting exposed in all 3 episodes sway your opinion, change your mind about her? Let's talk down below. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button, you guys. I love you, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.